Hello everyone, welcome back to the Hurricane Watch Team. This is your go-to source for the latest tropical weather updates. Today we got some breaking news as Tropical Storm Francine has just been upgraded from potential Tropical Cyclone number 6. And it is on its path to potentially impact the United States Gulf Coast. Stay tuned for all the critical details. So, we got to talk about its development. So, we're going to talk about a little bit about what's latest from the National Hurricane Center. Currently, as of 10 a.m. Central Time, Tropical Storm Francine is currently located at 23 degrees north, at latitude of 94.9 degrees west, longitude. It is currently 245 miles south-southeast of the mouth of the Rio Grande and 480 miles southwest of Cameron, Louisiana. So, I'm going to show you the graphs, a little bit about the graphics from the National Hurricane Center. That's what I wanted to show y'all. Okay, open image interview tab. Here we go. So, Francine is moving north-northwest at around 5 miles an hour with maximum sustained winds at 50 miles an hour. It is currently expected to gradually intensify over the next 24 hours, with significant to rapid intensification likely on Tuesday going into Wednesday. By that time, Francine could very well become a hurricane. Now let's talk about some of the watches and warnings that are currently in effect. Zoom this in so everyone can see a little bit better. Just so we can get a better clue, just this general area of where the storm will be moving into. So, a storm surge watch has been issued for areas from High Island, Texas, eastward to the Mississippi-Alabama border, including Vermilion Bay, Lake Mauritpas, and Lake Pontchartrain. A hurricane watch is in effect from Cameron, Louisiana, eastward to Grand Isle, Louisiana. So, if you're in any of these areas, now is the time to prepare. We are talking about the possibility of life-threatening storm surge with waters potentially rising up to upwards of 10 feet in some areas, especially along the Louisiana coastline. I do want to talk a little bit about the storm surge here. So, this will load. So, from Freeport to High Island in the Galveston Bay, a 1 to 3 feet of storm surge, including Galveston Island. From High Island to Cameron, Louisiana, 3 to 5 feet, including Sabine Pass and those areas there in southeast Texas. From Cameron, Louisiana, down to the port, we got 5 to 10 feet, including Vermilion Bay at 5 to 10 feet of storm surge is expected. To the mouth of the Mississippi River, 4 to 7 feet, and including from 2 to 4 feet all the way to the Mississippi-Alabama border, and that would be including Mississippi and the coast of Alabama, as well as Lake Pontchartrain. 2 to 4 feet of storm surge is also possible. So we'll also have some storm surge. Unfortunately, there could be quite a bit of effects for NOLA, New Orleans, Louisiana, because we could be seeing some storm surge, as well as the possibility of lots of heavy rain and flooding. Now, this storm isn't just going to linger around for a week or 3 days. It's gonna continue to move on, and we're gonna go to the models, and I'm gonna show you all of that. Talk about the flooding and everything as well with this system. Not good at all. So, in addition to the storm surge, again, we are gonna be talking about the heavy rainfall, which I'm gonna go next and talk about that. Talking about the heavy rainfall as well. 48 inches is total, with isolated areas possibly seeing up to a foot of rain, and it can lead to significant flash flooding and urban flooding across portions of southeast Texas, southwest Louisiana, as well as Mississippi. So, talking about the preparation checklist. Now, here's some quick safety tips. Make sure you have an evacuation plan in place if you are in a flood-prone area. Stock up on essentials like food, water, medications, and remember, it's always better be over-prepared than under-prepared. We cannot stress enough. If you are in the watch area, stay informed. Always be ready to act. The situations can change rapidly, and we've seen that in the past with rapid intensifying hurricanes, especially, or most recent with Hurricane Beryl. We expected it to become a hurricane, but it just really ramped up so fast right there upon landfall that it didn't want to weaken, even though it was already well into Houston, over 50 miles where it made landfall. It was well into Houston already, and it was struggling to make landfall. It made landfall at 979 millibars, and here at the Hurricane Watch Team headquarters, the air pressure was only at 983 millibars. So it just did not want to weaken, and we are about 70 miles away from where it made landfall. So that's what we could be expecting. Now, there could be some wind shear with this storm as well. And this is a very complicated setup, because you have another area of low pressure that's interacting with it. We have a frontal boundary. We have high pressure that's moving off to the east. And so forecasting where these storms are going to go, forecasting the intensity based on where it's going to be with the atmospheric conditions, is going to be very difficult to predict. Okay, let's see what we got here. There's a lot more that we need to talk about. I'm going to go to the modeling, talk about how much rain we could see for some of these areas. Go to the hurricane models like the H-WRF and just kind of look over all the models right now. So again, not super duper organized, but we do have an area of low pressure closed low. This certainly shows rapid intensification. Look at 995 down to 992. And these are in 3-hour increments. 992, 984. So from 992 to 984, dropped 8 millibars in 3 hours. 979. Looks like 977 to 979 millibars. It doesn't seem to close all the way around the system, which means there could be some dry air. This is just according to this one model. There could be some more dry air. There could be some wind shear, which is inhibiting that. But nonetheless, we are going to see some very heavy rain with this system for sure. We have moisture. We could see some more dry air down here, which is what I'm noticing with this one particular model. GFS has more of a closed low, where we're having more moisture all the way around the system here. The winds are also going to be an issue too. This one says the GFS just shows like an 80-mile-an-hour hurricane making landfall there. Certainly gonna have to be something we're gonna have to closely monitor with this system. What was that one model I saw? This one was a little bit more concerning. A lot more stronger air pressure there. And we could actually see some weakening upon landfall. As you can see, 961, 965, 970 millibars right there. So we could actually see some weakening with this system, which would be great. However, that's not going to undermine the fact that you're still going to see some storms, or you're still going to see that up to 10-foot storm surge there along the coast near Cameron, Louisiana, near Lake Charles. You're still going to see a lot of saltwater flooding from the storm surge, as well as you're going to have a lot of heavy rain. You're going to have a lot of widespread wind damage with this storm, especially right near where the center of the storm makes landfall. You'll see a lot of wind damage, a lot of a huge swath of 75+ mile-an-hour winds, hurricane force winds, as well as 60+ mile-an-hour tropical storm force winds, which you could still see some damage done to trees, down fences. Widespread power outages are also going to be possible or likely with this storm as well. Again, here is the latest satellite imagery of Tropical Storm Francine there in the southwestern Gulf of Mexico there off the coast of northeast Mexico. So we see, I'm going to do more of a zoomed out image because that will be better to explain things. So here it is. You can clearly see the clockwise motion of the outflow. You can see the outflow is moving clockwise. That shows that there is a little bit of upper level diffluence. There is upper level winds allowing the storm to breathe better. Here is that frontal boundary. That frontal boundary is probably going to push it, make its way back north is what we think. High pressure is going to move off to the east, and that's going to, as this high pressure moves off to the east, the upper level, the trough, the elongated area of low pressure, the cold front, move north, as well as Francine to make its way move north. And as the high pressure moves to the east, the high pressure will kind of push it off in this direction. That's what we think is going to happen. So again, here's the high pressure. Here's that trough, that elongated area of low pressure, a trough, a frontal boundary. It makes its way to the north. This is the latest update. So I need to go to 06Z where we have more hours. It moves north. The high pressure moves off to the east and allows the storm to move off to the east-northeast. So that's the general idea of what we're thinking here with this system. Still not showing that there's a closed low, which I find very odd, given that we found a closed low. I think the closed low might have been right here because it flipped. I think they're finding. I think they say it was 1002 millibars. So, because the structure of the system of the satellite imagery has rapidly improved this morning with a large circular region of very cool convection between -70 and -85 degrees near the estimated center, the Air Force reconnaissance aircraft currently sampling this storm found a cyclonic wind shift from southeasterly to northeasterly, which might be this, southeast to northeast. No, that's northwest. I think that's what they're talking about, or it might have been the one down here. I don't know. I think this might be the center up here. Oh yeah, that's probably the center right there. You look at it on the satellite imagery, you can kind of tell a little bit. There's what? Right there is where we think the center is. Right in this area where we're seeing that deep convection is currently where we believe the center of the circulation is at. So, again, that's mainly what we wanted to talk about: the flooding from this system, as well as the storm surge, as well as the winds. Now, I do want to go over some of the key topics and what the National Hurricane Center is looking over. Correct. So yeah, 1002 millibars at 50 miles an hour, moving to the northwest at 5 miles per hour. Graphics, I wanted to look at the key messages. Here we go. So, Francine is forecast to be a hurricane as it reaches the northwestern Gulf Coast on Wednesday or Wednesday night into the early hours of possibly Thursday. There is an increasing likelihood of life-threatening storm surge inundation for portions of the upper Texas coast and Louisiana coastlines where a storm surge watch is in effect. Residents in the watch area should follow advice given by local officials. There's an increasing risk of hurricane-force winds in portions of southern Louisiana beginning Wednesday, when a hurricane watch is now currently in effect. Francine is expected to bring heavy rainfall and the risk of considerable flash flooding along the coast of far northeast Mexico, portions of the southernmost Texas coast, and the upper Texas coast, southern Louisiana, and southern Mississippi into Thursday morning. A risk of flash and urban flooding exists across portions of the Mid-South from Wednesday into Friday morning. Potential flooding all of southern Louisiana and portions of southern and western Mississippi will see moderate flash flooding, and depending if this continues to get worse, there may be even a small area near Lake Charles and Cameron, Louisiana, and Lafayette, Louisiana, where we could see a high risk, a bullseye of high risk of flooding is also possible. Storm surge inundation. Let's take a look and see what we got here. So really, it's going to be mainly for areas right in through here, which they're not showing a lot. That's because this hasn't been really updated. We need to update this again. Right along the coastline, they're showing greater than though once this gets closer and we get more of an idea, we'll see more yellows and oranges and reds Take a look at a couple more models and see what we got going on here. This is 24-hour accumulated precipitation. And again, I need to go to the other time stamp. So again, some of these areas could be perhaps a bullseye right through here. Not super, mainly a lot of the heaviest rain will remain off the coast. But I think Lafayette will be where it will make landfall. And there could be a bullseye of 12 inches of rain. It's possible, of course, portions of where the storm makes landfall. I don't want to keep this going on forever. I'm going to probably end this off here because I'm going to keep this short, going to keep it simple. If you have any comments, questions, or concerns, feel free to go in the comment section down below and comment any comments, questions, or concerns that you may have. That is all for now. We will always keep everyone updated as Tropical Storm Francine continues to develop. Be sure to hit that subscribe button and that ring notification bell so you don't miss any critical updates. Stay safe out there, folks. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next update.